What's going on, Wicked Legion? It's your boy Hanzo Zero, joined by my trusted companion,
the incredible, edible Wicked Bison.
And the incomparable Voodoo, the Hoodoo Man. And today we're talking about the days you break your controller trying to be the boss that either is unbeatable or just tough. And the first one we have today is Onslaught of Marvel vs. Capcom. I had a little bit of trouble with him, not too much in the first form. The second form was a bitch.
Oh, God.
Second form was a bitch. He took up most of the screen. The first form, he's tough still, especially if you put him on a tough difficulty, you know, if you're a boss. But other than that, man, I mean, the guy threw everything at you, elements from Wazoo, the magnetic field, the beams from everywhere. He was a bitch to play against.
He was everywhere with it also in that second form. It's like he'll do back-to-back moves and you think you're in the clear and then he'll do something else. He was a ridiculous boss and I can honestly say I never beat him.
Same here, bro. And my team was Ryu and War Machine, or if I didn't have War Machine, I'll put Wolverine. To no avail. To this day, I've never beat him. And the funny thing is, I beat Apocalypse from Street Fighter vs. Marvel. I beat Apocalypse because you only have to worry about the drill. But this guy was just, man, so tough.
I can say out of the three of us, I'm the only man who's beaten him, but I put it on easy. So
did you beat this guy right here?
Okay, Shao Kahn, Mortal Kombat. Even on easy, you're gonna have a fight, and you know you're a punk if you put it on easy. I won't lie. This guy here, strength, speed. Even if you blocked, your health was going down, so it almost didn't matter. You can't jump out the way because he's anti-air. He just came at you like a bulldozer, and I mean, you know what? It fit with his size, and his only weakness was when he pointed and taunted you, and that's just him giving you a bone. I mean, trust me, if you got the third round, that pointing crap did stop. And you're in trouble. Now, a lot of guys did different things here and there to try to beat him. Some people have tried, you know, different tactics here and there, but it's really just you being a good player to beat this guy.
Hell yeah.
And he's even worse than the latest version of Mortal Kombat, which I've almost broken the controller or two on that one.
I agree with you. He's ridiculous. I spent about 2-3 hours just trying to defeat him, and he is a major cheat even on normal. And I think that was ridiculous. Real ridiculous. He threw everything he had at you and will counter every move that you did.
You can't block, you can't grab, just a bastard. And we have M. Bison, the Street Fighter. Fast, he jumped higher than you, he ran faster than you, and he screwed your girl. This guy was a bastard. I hated when you get dizzy and you had the ducks flying, the song started to speed up, you knew you were in trouble, he was going to finish you off. First character in the game, I've noticed that when he gave you that good kick to the midsection, blood would come out your character's mouth. That freaked me out as a kid when I was playing, because I'm like, he's the only guy who can do that. The punch to the gut, he threw you almost at will. The jump kick, the stop to the head, he could change directions. He was like LeBron James in Street Fighter. The guy did everything to you. So yes, if you beat him without using that cheat when you jumped in the middle of the stage and just high kicked him, you were a man.
Yeah, the amount of quarters, tears, and sweat I put into this game, ridiculous. This guy can do a head stomp while he's in midair.
Yeah.
Then his throws are even more ridiculous. He'll be like sweeping distance and he will throw you. It's like he's a super soldier in this game almost. And I played with Guile and that really pissed me off.
He couldn't get close to him.
No, I could not. He would jump halfway across the screen and just look at you.
Now here's Mike Tyson, Mr. Mike, Iron Mike, whatever you want to call him. Kid Dynamite.
Kid Dynamite, right.
During the game.
Yeah.
And I remember the commercial they had with him when he was playing the game.
And he starts laughing.
Yeah, he was beating you up. And I'm like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. I know of one man to beat this game. He wrote an article about it, funny stuff. And you know what?
It's crowning achievement.
I would write it too if I beat this guy. There's people who've done everything in their power to try to beat this game, and to no avail. You cannot beat Kid Dynamite. He backed up, hit his gloves, and just went at you. You had to be on your toes the whole time, and it took longer than 10 minutes to play this guy. Because you barely made dents on him. I mean, I'm looking down, this guy's hitting him more than he's getting hit. and it doesn't look like it's doing too
I
much
guarantee you
damage.
this is a ROM and this guy's playing off a cheat. No way, because he's taking out a lot of life. Look at that.
I mean, he's getting hit too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's getting hit too, but
And he's down.
he was just a tough SOB.
Final Fantasy 13 Barthandelus, Disc 3, Chapter 11.
Oh God, the bridge. I love farming in RPG games. I did everything in my will, my power, patience to beat this guy. I finally beat him, but I had to put the game aside for about 4 or 5 months because I would get to him. You got to go through the cutscene. You skip it, you lose. I got tired of that run of the mill on the hamster wheel cycle bullshit. So I finally started going back, and the fact that this game is so leaner, you can't really, you can't really farm as much as you want to. So it's really tough.
Kingdom Hearts 2 Sephiroth. I can honestly say I cannot beat this guy, and I had to get my girl at the time to beat him. He was hard. He was way hard. It's like the stuff he would do, the speed he would go about doing it, just ridiculous.
Magic he threw at you.
Yeah, that shit was just unfair. Especially if you see grown-ass men just threatening to return the game or to just throw their console out of the window because they couldn't beat this guy. That speaks volumes on how tough this SOB is. Serious shit.
Guy was one of the top 5 villains in video game history. He's always kicked your butt. I thought he was bad in the old Final Fantasy, but then when they brought him back in Kingdom Hearts, and it looked like they gave him a reboot and just said, you know what, we're gonna make him like a Super Saiyan in this thing over here. He's like Brawly of Final Fantasy.
Great
Nice. Wow.
He's one of the guys that you just really don't want to mess with. And anytime you had to deal with him, you were in trouble. So yes, he's going to be in the top 3, 5, maybe number 1 in a lot of categories, especially in the villain category.
Hell yeah, because he was tough in FF7, and they made him tougher in this one. Really? Some people say. I think he was more tough in Final Fantasy 7 personally.
My favorite RPG of all time,
I second that.
Final Fantasy VIII, Ultimesha. If you try to go straight to it without beating the guy to get back your abilities, you will get raped. Honestly.
Hands down.
Hands down for real. But if you had that Lionheart and did a limit breaker with that constantly, you would be okay. But at the same time, don't underestimate Ultimesha.
Hell yeah, especially in this form right here. I mean, that form, I'm not gonna lie, I beat him in one sitting, but I had my people jacked up. Like real, high levels. And I got back attack, draw, and my GFs. So those are the 3 things that I picked up. I didn't even pick up item again. I didn't care for item.
You're right.
So I just drew from her, threw it back at her, dispelled all that bullshit, and I was victorious 43 minutes later. So it works, but it took a minute. It took a long while.
I mean, this is one of the characters that you have to really have your stuff together. You got to get everybody aligned. You have to get the right team, because sometimes one character is just too weak to. This is not a boss you want to slip up on, because you got to understand, a Final Fantasy boss, you're going to be there for a while.
I hate Renoa so much. I'm sorry, but she was always low health in every fight I was in. I did not care anything about that chick, because I think she's the worst Final Fantasy character in history.
Now we have Dr. Robotnik, Dr. A, whatever you want to call him. He's one of the worst people ever in video game history in my eyes. One of the most annoying at that. Every time you looked at him, he took something from you or you ran away with something. This stage in particular in Sonic, man, I couldn't stand it for the simple fact that they got you going in there with no rings. And if you played Sonic, you know that them rings, one ring is an important thing.
Hell yeah.
They put you in there with none. You don't know what he's going to throw at you. And sometimes it's one of those games where you just sit there and say, this game is cheating. It's not letting me win because it doesn't want me to win. I don't want to play this game anymore. There's a lot of times where I'd have to sit there and just contemplate, what do I have to do to put this guy away? Because it doesn't matter what I do. It looked like everything I did was a mistake. There's plenty of stories with this guy just going off on people.
Definitely. Next up is Contra, the Alien Wars for the SNES. Nightmares, and I'm not talking about because the game is scary, just frustration. Because this last master is extremely tough. I'm not gonna lie, I brought a Game Genie because of this master. And I beat him. I felt good, but I mean, I would have liked to really beat him with just the 3 lives and the 7 continue that you get. And I mean, even the stage leading up to him is really fucking tough. Yeah, it's literally a war zone because things are jumping at you, things are being shot from places you don't see. It was just extremely frustrating. But yeah, that's why that mofo made that list, or our list, excuse me.
Here we go. Speaking of Warzone, we have Gears of War 1, Ram. Now, this guy with his crow, you can't sit in the dark. You gotta fight him from distance while you're in close quarters. You're pretty much trapped with a monster. And when you really look at those odds, especially with as crazy as this game is, it's a tough customer. I beat him on medium level, and that took a while. I tried to beat him on the chaotic mode, and I was insane for trying. You can't go for the Gatling gun at the end because it's almost like a trap. They set you up. You go there, there's no lights, you're getting caught. He has a gun that, I think it's a Gatling gun.
It's a Gatling
He's
gun.
just walking around with that thing, man. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Your shelter doesn't help you sometimes because of the crawl, or sometimes he just shoots it, breaks it down. He's one of the toughest characters I've ever had to beat, and I was satisfied when I killed him.
Definitely. It took me about a week to beat him, but yeah, it was definitely a satisfying feeling when you do beat him. Well, guys, that's our list. Did we miss anybody? Leave a comment in the section below and let us know.
Guys, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for the views.
And give us a list of your own. We'll comment. We'll go, conversate.
Hanzo Zero.